1h em ponto.
A partir de agora, Bem Que Se Kiss. Apresentação Bruno Sutter.
Bem que se quis.
Fala aí, nação roqueira, tudo bem? Sejam todos muito bem-vindos ao Bem Que Se Kiss. Eu sou o Bruno Sutter e estamos aqui com Vani e América. E aí, Vani?
Não estamos sozinhos, professor.
Nossa, cara, eu tô me tremendo todo aqui, rapaz. A gente tem hoje uma presença sensacional.
Olha, você também pode ver que o Bruno está tremendo também no YouTube.
Aqui, ó, vem pra cá, youtube.com/RadioKissFM oficial. A gente está com imagens. Se você ligou no YouTube da Kiss agora, você está vendo essa pessoa. O primeiro guitarrista do Iron Maiden, Dennis Stratton. A gente vai machucar muito no inglês hoje, né, Bruno? Vai tentar? É uma grande honra estar aqui. Dennis, great pleasure, great honor to have you here. First time in Brazil, primeira vez no Brasil. A primeira vez que ele veio no Brasil, fantástico. E, cara, eu tenho tanta pergunta. Você tem pergunta também? Vem pra cá no 11 998 87 4343. Manda aqui sua perguntinha. Hoje a criançada tá de folga, viu? Hoje a criançada não tem aula na Escolinha do Rock, mas a Escolinha do Rock volta amanhã. Então, papai, mamãe, vovó, vovô, pode vir para cá fazer sua pergunta para o Dennis Stratton, que a gente faz aqui em loco. Trouxe também o meu primeiro disco do Iron Maiden para ele autografar também. E o motivo pelo qual o Dennis Stratton está aqui no Brasil, ele veio fazer vários shows aqui da turnê. I'll tell the dates of the dates, the two dates of Dennis Stratton, a turnê do Dennis Stratton aqui no Brasil. Ele vai estar dia 1º de dezembro em Florianópolis, no John Bull. No dia 2, em Curitiba, no Hard Rock Café. Dia 3, em São Paulo, no Teatro Mars. Dia 5, em Goiânia, no Bolshoi. Dia 6, em Brasília, no Toinha. Dia 7, em Belo Horizonte, no Mr. Rock. Dia 10, no Rio de Janeiro, no Rock Experience. E no dia 13, em Ribeirão Preto, no Hard Rock Café. Please tell us, Dennis, what about this tour that you're going to do here in Brazil?
Well, for many years, you know, in the UK, I've been asked by so many people over the years to please come to Brazil, please come here, come there. It never happened, and then in 2019, I was asked to do the tour in 2020. And
let's go do it.
Yes,
but
the interest was phenomenal, and everyone was looking forward to it. Myself and the team and everything, we were all geared up, and then all of a sudden, as you know, the world went crazy with COVID, and so everything was taken away from us. Everything was postponed. I thought, you know, going through the COVID situation with 2 years of depression, it's for a musician, it's not good. And I never thought we'd get another chance. I thought that chance had gone. I thought the dream is not going to happen. And then slowly the interest again started last year. And so then Marcel contacted me and said, look, we can do this in 2023. And then the excitement started again. So, me and Julia landed yesterday to Sao Paulo, and we walked into the airport, and we just both stood there and went,
we are here.
We made it.
Yeah.
We finally made it. Yeah.
Que incrível.
It's reality.
Incrível. O Dennis, ele falou que havia sempre o interesse dos brasileiros para trazê-lo aqui, tipo, vem pro Brasil, vem pro Brasil, vem pro Brasil. Eu, tipo, porra, vem pro Brasil, mas porra, só fala para um contratante me contratar que eu venho, porra. E aí, em 2019, houve interesse, já estava quase tudo fechado, e aí...
E a pandemia.
Aí a Covid veio e pegou todos nós, né? E aí, agora... voltou o interesse, graças a Deus, voltou, na verdade não o interesse, mas voltou a vida, né? E em 2023 agora, finalmente, ele falou que chegou com a esposa dele aqui no aeroporto, falou, cara, estamos aqui. And what about the songs that you will play with the Brazilian band? We'll talk about the Brazilian band later. And you were the first guitar player from the first Iron Maiden record, and it's not only the songs of the first Iron Maiden record. There will be another Iron Maiden songs. Estou perguntando se o repertório do disco vai ser só as primeiras músicas do Iron Maiden, se vai ter mais coisa. It is only the songs of the first Iron Maiden album, or will be another songs from Iron Maiden?
Yeah, there's extra songs on the set because for many years in Europe, going South Africa and Bulgaria, playing the set, the first album, plus a couple from Killers has always been my favorites because I was playing them with the band live in the Metal for Mothers tour.
Yeah.
Like Rothschild and things like that. So basically, you need an extra couple of songs because you want the set to be a decent length. You don't want
to be short.
40 minutes is for a support band,
Mm-hmm.
you know. So although this band in Brazil have pushed me a bit, they pushed me more than the European bands because in Europe, the band go on before me and they do about a 45-minute slot. So they do a lot from all the other albums of Iron Maiden, and then we go on and do about 9 songs, 10 songs, you know, which consists of the first album plus a couple from Killers. These guys over here, they need more. They need more. So we've been working on some other songs that, funny enough, I haven't played since 1980.
Oh, really? Like?
I'm not saying.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
People,
it's a surprise.
There's going to be surprises at the show.
Okay.
And the idea is that I listened to them at home before I got on the plane, and I thought, well, I remember this. Yeah, I remember that one.
Yeah.
This is manic. You know, this is hard work. But we ran through it, and then when we got in the rehearsal yesterday, wow, the band were on fire because we didn't need a rehearsal.
Yeah,
but we used it as a run through for a dress rehearsal, and it sounded
great.
Yeah,
they are great. O Dennis falou que o repertório vai ser basicamente o primeiro disco do Iron Maiden, mais algumas músicas do Killers que eles tocavam na Metal for Mothers Tour, que é a turnê que eles faziam na época, que várias músicas do Killers já tinham sido compostas na época que o Dennis estava na banda. Né? Então vai ser um show que vai ter músicas do primeiro disco, praticamente o disco inteiro, mais alguma coisa do Killers. Eu tentei puxar mais alguma coisa aqui, ele falou, não, o resto é surpresa, vai ter mais coisas, e ele falou que a banda brasileira simplesmente é sensacional, e que ele não tinha, nem precisaria de ensaio, e essa banda, I'll tell a little bit about the band, right? Eu já tive o prazer de tocar com esses meninos, né? Que é o Leandro Cassoilo. Leandro Cassoilo is a great singer in Brazil.
Wow.
He's phenomenal, ele é fenomenal. O Lely e o Lennon, ele é o Lely Murray, né? E o Lennon Harris. Eles são da primeira formação da Children of the Beast. There's a very known band here in Brazil called Children of the Beast. It's one of the first Iron Maiden tribute bands here in Brazil. They are very known, and Lely and Lennon they are from the first formation of the band. So they are Iron Maiden maniacs. Eles são Iron Maiden maníacos. O Lely e o Lennon, que são irmãos, né? O Lely Murray e o Lennon Harris, respectivos, né? E o Tony na bateria. E ele e o Dennis falou que são pessoas sensacionais, incríveis. Let's play the first song in our show. You told us before that this song is your favorite Iron Maiden song. Tell us a little bit about Phantom of the Opera, please.
Phantom was one of the songs that came later. When I first joined the band, I have to explain that, you know, Steve and Dave used to come and watch me play in a pub in East London in West Ham called the Bridge House. So I was resident there as the resident band every Sunday and Monday. And Steve and Dave used to come and watch me play. So they knew of me, and I didn't know what band they were in, but they knew I played with RDB.
You were the famous guy.
I was when I was older. So, you know, and I always remember Steve coming in with his leather jacket and a West Ham scarf. And
he's a maniac from this.
We all are. We all are. And so when they contacted me to come and see the band and join them, they knew that I come from a harmony guitar style band from the Wishbone Ash days, and every band I worked with was always harmony guitars. So they knew what they were getting when they asked me to join the band. And then, so when I first went to the rehearsal, I noticed they didn't have a drummer. So there was just me and Dave and Steve in the studio. So they played me these tapes, and they gave me the Soundhouse tapes when I first met them at the Ship in Wardour Street, when I first went and had a chat with them in the pub before we got to the rehearsal. So basically they gave me the songs. So I think on the songs at the time, 4 or 5 songs were things like Drifter, there was Prowler, there was other stuff there like Rough all different, you know, different mixes of very rough, very punky, very raw, one guitar, Dave playing, and so then I run through them, and then we worked on them with the harmony guitar parts coming in, made the songs bigger, more interesting, bit wider production. And then I remember them coming a few days later and said, "Oh, we got a couple of other tapes, and one of them was Phantom." And so I went, "Oh, just 8 minutes." I thought, wow. So when I got home, then I realized the time changes, but it just gives me more a bit to chomp on, which was, you know, like, get the song, tear it down, get the different timings, get the different parts, and then put it all back together again. And it was I did a lot more than what's on the album, but as I say, lots of interest about how many tracks you can put on. And I didn't want to change the sound of Iron Maiden, and I didn't want to make the Phantom sound too poppy. So I had to be careful not to overdo too many guitars, too many vocals. And I remember Rod saying that, no, take them out, because then we don't want to sound like Queen or something like that, you know? So there was always a chance to add the thing, but Phantom was always my favorite because
it has it all, right?
Yeah. It has the breakdowns and different time changes. As I say, the harmonies I got in, I think just suited, and was enough to keep it raw, like the early sound.
And I believe it sounds very right.
Yeah.
O Dennis, bastante coisa. O Dennis falou que quando eles estavam procurando outro guitarrista, o Dave Murray e o Steve Harris, eles foram ver o Dennis tocar, que ele era músico residente em um pub. E aí eles foram para vê-lo, né? E aí ele estava lá com a camisa do West Ham, Steve Harris, que ele é muito, todo mundo "You're all West Ham."
Me and Steve most of the time. Dave wasn't really interested in football.
Not.
Clive, I think, was West Ham. Yeah.
Oh, it's like Flamengo here.
I think Clive might have been Tottenham. I don't know, because I don't know. I wouldn't like to say.
Okay, no problem.
I remember having a go at him about.
Mas todo mundo, os caras West Ham, aí ele viu, pô, legal, o cara do West Ham, e eles começaram a conversar, e aí eles sabiam que o Dennis tinha o costume de tocar com guitarras, né, com duetos de guitarra, do estilo dele, e era o que o Iron Maiden estava procurando na época. E aí convidaram o Dennis para entrar na banda, mostraram algumas músicas como Rough Child, Drifter, e aí ele foi ouvindo as músicas, legal, e aí ele depois pegou uma outra fita que tinha Phantom of the Opera, e aí ele realmente, o Dennis ficou impressionado com as mudanças de tempo e achou aquilo muito interessante, e ele veio com umas ideias de colocar as guitarras, os duetos de guitarra, algumas harmonias de voz, e aí o Dennis veio com bastante ideia, e teve uma hora que o Rod Smallwood falou, cara, vai com calma aí, que senão vai ficar igual Queen também, calma, vai devagar. E aí eles chegaram nesse meio termo que virou a Phantom of the Opera. Então a gente chega à conclusão que o cara que realmente colocou essa coisa de guitarras dobradas, né, com duetos de guitarras e harmonias vocais, foi o Dennis Stratton. Então vamos ouvir essa maravilha, The Phantom of the Opera. We're still live. Oh, thank God. We're still in this live on the Facebook. I have a very bad problem with prepositions in English. We're on YouTube, or we're in YouTube. We're on live. We're on YouTube, or we are in YouTube. On YouTube, yeah.
On YouTube.
I'm sorry about this problems with prepositions.
No, there's no problem.
On guitar, on vocals, okay.
Yeah, there's no problem.
Oh, thank you.
Pode
we're
falar
still.
errado.
Let's see if there are questions. Is there questions there?
Tem. Eles perguntam o seguinte: ele perguntou se ele gosta.
Sorry.
Se ele gosta do rumo que o Iron Maiden tomou depois da saída dele.
Very nice question from
Alcides.
Alcides. Could please turn down. Alcides here from São Paulo?
Não, Rio de Janeiro.
Rio de Janeiro, all right. He asked, what do you think about the path Iron Maiden took after you went Iron Maiden? Do you like the songs? Do you like Bruce Dickinson stuff?
Yeah. I've always made it. It's not a secret. I've always made it really clear that when I joined the band, after we recorded the first album, I was talking to Steve about, you talk about the band going further, you know, and breaking into America and things like that. It comes a part of the conversation. And my main concern was that Paul never had the range to carry that about over to the States. And I remember having a conversation with Rod and with Steve, because I'd had experience with touring. I was older than the band, so I'd already experienced touring with Status Quo and around the world touring. So when you see other bands going up the ladder, progressing, and I just said, my statement, I said to Steve, you know, you got to look at competing against Robert Plant. You know, you got to repeat, you know, you're competing against Dave Lee Roth, David Coverdale. You're competing against these guys that can go different ranges, and I think that started them thinking about how far they can go with the range. After I went, when they started working on Killers, I don't know behind the scenes the problems they had with Di'Anno. I don't want to know, but all I know, the fact is, Bruce was waiting, and I remember talking to Bruce before they offered him the gig, and talking to him in the ship in Wardour Street, and I remember saying, you know, your range would suit the band perfectly. But I don't know, they may have auditioned a lot of other singers.
Oh, really?
Apart from Bruce, I don't know. I know Damien Wilson, who I work with in Maiden United. Damien Wilson went for the audition, but I don't know how many vocalists went. You know. But I knew that somewhere along the line they would need that extra bit of range in the vocal, you know.
And about the songs,
the songs after, I just thought they got stronger and stronger. My favourite songs, I can't tell you the albums they're on because I don't collect all the albums, but my favourite songs from certain eras of certain years and certain albums of Iron Maiden are Wasted Years. Things like that have got these great choruses, these like anthem choruses, you know, Run to the Hills. I love 2 Minutes to Midnight, The Number of the Beast. I love The Evil That Men Do. There's lots of songs, 2 Minutes to Midnight. There are a load of songs which have got these great choruses. There's some albums I just thought, you know, not as good, you know, with the songwriting. And I like the idea of Adrian and Bruce writing more towards the albums, towards the band, because I think that takes a lot of pressure off Steve as well.
Yeah,
and,
for sure.
You know, he's a great songwriter. I love the songs we do in Maiden United because you can tell he's songwriting and you can hear the lyrics properly.
Yeah.
But I love the contribution. But they're my favourite. After the first album, I think them songs are the more stronger ones. But there's, like every band, you have your on album and you have your little bit off album. You know. the Final Frontier or Dr. Souls. I don't know whether they come up as strong as the other albums. I don't know.
So in general, you agree with the path the band?
Yeah, it's a machine. You know, I've been to the O2 when we go to see the band, and with Steve's family, because Steve has his own section of VIP guests, and where you're going to have something to eat and a drink. And me and Jules go with a family. You know, we're with his mum, we're with his sisters, we're with his nephews, Joe, and we're with all the family. And even a couple of the cousins say, "What's their secret?" And you go, "I don't know." But the secret is that more and more youngsters are wearing Iron Maiden t-shirts.
Thank God.
So somewhere along the line, the younger generation are latching on to this machine that's just growing and growing, you know. So, and I've got to say that this last 3 or 4 years, we saw them in Vegas at the beginning before COVID. And this last 4 or 5 years, they've not stopped touring. And they're just continuing like a big machine rolling along.
And it's great.
Fantastic.
It's great. Essa pergunta foi muito boa, né?
Eu vou direto pro intervalo, tá?
Deixa eu só chamar, que a gente daqui a pouco volta, tá? Rapidinho, tá? E, cara, o Dennis, ele concorda que o nosso amigo perguntou se ele gosta, né, do material que foi feito do Iron Maiden com o Bruce Dickinson. E ele falou, cara, que o Iron Maiden, ele até falou com o Steve Harris na época, a gente precisa de um cantor que tenha um alcance vocal maior, porque você está competindo com o Robert Plant, com David Coverdale, sabe, com David Lee Roth, bandas gigantescas. Então é importante ter um vocalista que tenha um alcance maior. E ele falou que, cara, adora a fase do Iron Maiden com Bruce Dickinson, músicas como Wasted Years, Run to the Hills, Evil That Man Do. Ah, que beleza! The Phantom of the Opera, aqui no Bem Que Se Kiss. A gente vai para o nosso primeiro intervalo, mas a gente continua aqui na nossa live no YouTube, youtube.com/RádioKissFM Oficial. A gente está trocando uma ideia séria, irmão. Vem para cá no YouTube que a gente continua aqui ao vivo e daqui a pouco a gente volta.
Até já.
Continuando, I will continue the translation. E aí ele falou que o Iron Maiden precisava evoluir, dar um passo à frente. E ele concordou totalmente com a ideia do Bruce Dickinson entrar para o Iron Maiden. Ele chegou a falar com o Bruce Dickinson antes dele entrar para o Iron Maiden. Todos se conhecem lá, né? E tem discos que ele gosta bastante da primeira fase do Bruce Dickinson no Iron Maiden. Obviamente tem coisas que ele gosta menos, como toda a banda, né? Ele citou aqui até o Final Frontier, coisas assim. Mas realmente ele concorda com isso. E ele está impressionado com o que a instituição do Iron Maiden porque o Dennis tem a felicidade de viajar o mundo inteiro e ver, tocando com o show dele de Iron Maiden, que o público vai cada vez se renovando mais, né? Você vê famílias de pai, avô, filho, isso é uma coisa incrível que vai se renovando, né? Isso é sensacional. Tem mais perguntas aí?
Tem sim, porque se ele tem esse contato com o Paul Diano, né? Você tem esse contato com o Paul.
Quem perguntou?
Peraí, o Paul Diano. Foi quem perguntou, foi Washington.
Washington? Is he from Washington? DC? No. Washington asked if you have any contact with Paul.
No.
No? No.
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 No, I've been contacted over the last couple of years, the last year or so, to maybe do a tour with Paul. Brazil was mentioned, and plus Chile and some other places. But I think at the moment we have to concentrate on what we've arranged for 2023.
Yeah.
I know that it's taken since 2020 to get this on the road. And the guys in Marcel's team have been working really hard. So you can't just ignore the fact that the work that's been done over 2 or 3 years. And, it's fine. He's touring. I don't know much about the tours. I don't know much about what he's doing. But, no, I always say to people that, you never say never. But at the moment, it's not the right time. And we need to think about it for the next year or the year after. Just to see what would happen.
Ok. Já citaram essa possibilidade de fazer uma turnê do Paul com o Dennis, mas o Dennis está focado no trabalho dele atual, né? Fazendo o trabalho dele com o Iron Maiden do jeito que ele prefere fazer, e que o Paul também faz o trabalho dele de shows, não com tanta constância, né? Porque o Paul ele tem uma condição de saúde bem difícil, né? Então isso é uma coisa que inviabiliza também, mas foi como o Dennis falou, nunca diga nunca, né? O não é uma coisa definitiva, pode acontecer, mas é uma coisa para ver mais para frente, e ele quer focar mais em 2023.
30 segundos, tá?
30 segundos?
Sim.
30 seconds. I'll talk again about the two dates, right? That's important. Yeah. Oi.
Estamos de volta!
É isso aí, Vani. Estamos de volta com o Bem Que Se Kiss, machucando no inglês aqui com o Dennis Stratton, primeiro guitarrista do Iron Maiden. Man, what a pleasure having you here, man. I'm feeling like a child with 80 years old when I heard my first Iron Maiden. Thank you so very much for you being here with us. Obrigado.
As I say, it's an honor.
Ele tá falando que é uma honra, eu tô falando que é uma honra minha também. Eu tô empolgado pra caramba aqui. O Dennis Stratton tá fazendo turnê aqui no Brasil. Ele vai começar no dia 1º agora. Dia 1º que é sábado? É sábado? Deve ser, né? Dia 1º é sábado? Sexta? Sexta-feira já começa a Dennis Stratton Brasil Tour 2023. 2023, right?
Yeah.
Can I say 2023?
2023.
I said 2023. Man, we're ancient, right? Dia 1º vai estar em Florianópolis, sexta-feira no John Bull. No dia 2, sábado, em Curitiba, no Hard Rock Café. No dia 3, domingo, em São Paulo, no Teatro Mars. No dia 5, em Goiânia, no Bolshoi. No dia 6, em Brasília, no Toinha. No dia 7, em Belo Horizonte, no Mr. Rock. No dia 10, no Rio de Janeiro, no Rock Experience. E no dia 13, em Ribeirão Preto, no Hard Rock Café. Como que tá os ingressos, hein? Já tá tudo sold out? Ainda tem como o pessoal comprar? Estão todos à venda no Simpla, né? No bilheto também. Como que o pessoal acessa para comprar? Cada show tem o seu divulgador. Instagram? Tá. Então, assim, facilmente você vai achar no Simpla e no bilheto o show respectivo da sua cidade, tá bom? Florianópolis, Curitiba, São Paulo, Goiânia, Brasília, Belo Horizonte, Rio de Janeiro e Ribeirão Preto vão ter a presença de Dennis Stratton, que tá com uma banda sensacional. Essa banda eu já tive o prazer de tocar com quase todos eles. O Leandro Cassoilo, ele é um vocalista sensacional, incrível. O Lely Murray, que foi da Children of the Beast, ele interpreta o Dave Murray de uma forma sensacional. Ricardo Lima também vai estar na guitarra. O Lennon Harris no baixo. E o Lennon, ele parece com o Steve Harris. Lennon look alike Steve Harris very much, right?
Just a quick thing. Can you imagine me pronouncing all those at home when I'm recording the videos to send over to here? Can you imagine me saying all that?
Yeah.
My Cockney East End accent.
Yeah.
Reading that lot.
I believe I saw it.
Yes, I've done very well.
Yeah. A gente tá falando um pouquinho, ele falou assim, você me imagina falando o nome desses lugares, cara, em português? Portuguese is a very difficult language, right?
But getting back to what you said, Lennon, right?
Lennon, yeah.
So last night at the rehearsal, he puts the guitar on.
Yeah.
So I said, you really look a bit like Steve Harris.
Yeah.
He went, oh, thank you. So I said, I'm going to send him your photo. So he did his hair and he put the guitar on, Steve's guitar, and his strap.
Yeah.
So I took the photo of him with the guitar. Yeah. And when I looked at the strap and I said, Lennon, I said, the strap is red and white. I said, Steve will not be happy with the red and white. So he went, no, it's claret and blue, but it's faded.
Yeah.
So last night I sent Steve the picture,
Uh-huh.
and I said, Steve, I told him that the strap doesn't look claret and blue. Steve texts back and said,
Looks very red and white to me.
So I text Steve and said, yes, that's what I said. So I think he needs to buy a new strap.
Yeah.
Because as I said, we're both West Ham crazy. So
yeah. West Ham
Steve
is blue and red, right?
It's claret, deep red and
Yeah.
blue,
Oh,
sky blue.
Yeah.
So claret and blue.
Oh man, that's dangerous, man. That's dangerous.
I had to laugh because Steve's very private, very quiet.
But he responded.
He red and white to me, and I said, I did tell him.
Essa história é sensacional. Eu tava falando que o Lennon, ele parece muito com o Steve Harris.
Uhum.
E aí ele falou, realmente, o Dennis falou, cara, você parece muito com o Steve Harris. Aí, vamos tirar uma foto e mandar para o Steve Harris? E aí o Lennon aí o Dennis tirou a foto do Lennon e ele tava com a correia.
Uhum.
E bem imitando a correia do Steve Harris, que são as cores do West Ham, que é azul e um roxo, né? Um azul e vermelho. Só que depois de tanto lavar, o azul desbotou, ficou branco.
Ui.
Ele falou, cara, o Dennis falou, cara, isso aí não tá parecendo muito as cores do West Ham, não, hein? Eu vou mandar pro Steve Harris e ele vai falar. Ele, putz, é porque desbotou de tanto lavar. Aí ele mandou a mensagem pro Steve Harris e o Steve Harris respondeu. Tá parecendo muito branco e vermelho para mim. Is there another rival from West Ham that it's white and red?
Arsenal.
Oh man,
North London. Now you can handle Manchester United, red and white.
Yeah.
Liverpool, red, they're up north.
But there's a main rival.
But Tottenham, North London. Arsenal, North London. Chelsea, blue, West London.
There's a lot of rivals, white and red, right? Arsenal.
Unfortunately, red and white. And
yeah.
I can understand why Steve texts me back and said,
"Oh yeah,
we understand that if that looks like it's red and white,
it look like Arsenal.
It's gonna." Yeah. Could be the end of the tour.
Could be the end of the tour. Podia acabar a banda, cara. É porque eu perguntei para ele.
It could be completely disastrous.
Oh man, I'm sorry about it.
We'll have to get him a claret and blue scarf to put.
He could paint it with a pen.
No, we'll get him a scarf.
Melhor pegar uma nova. Eu perguntei se tem um rival mesmo do West Ham. E tem o Arsenal, que é azul, que é branco e vermelho. É tipo assim, eu sou Flamengo, o cara banda do Vasco, assim, tipo, cor do. Aí o bicho pega, né, cara?
Total.
Yeah.
Tem mais perguntas aqui pro Dennis?
Perguntando o seguinte, agora sou eu que estou perguntando mesmo. Se ele realmente quase foi um jogador de futebol.
Sim. Do you like playing soccer as well?
Yeah. When I was younger.
Yeah.
And
Steve still plays.
Still plays.
If you look at the video for the new
tour,
Steve, there's clips of him playing, and I was talking to him on the phone about it, and he went, "Have you seen the video?" I went, "No." He said, "There's some clips of football," so I watched it. But he's still a great tennis player, so fit, and still plays football. But in the early days, yes, I was at school when I was 11.
Really?
When you're in the UK, when you're 11, you go to the secondary school. You're grown up school. So I was playing football from the age of 7 or 8, 9, 10, 11, and I was playing for the school. And then when I was 11, in the 6 weeks holiday break, I trained with the West Ham
juniors,
juniors, kids. Yeah. I weren't good enough. So, but then I carried on playing till I was about sort of 19, 20, and then just too much. I couldn't do it. No, couldn't do it. And a quick joke, quick story. Maiden were playing Download. I contacted Steve. I said, "Steve, can I bring Dave? He's known Dave all our playing lives. I play with Dave. I was playing with Dave in the Bridge House when Steve asked me to join Iron Maiden. So he's known Dave for 40 odd years. I said, can I bring Dave to Download? He went, has he been to see West Ham yet? I said, no, he doesn't like football. He said, so you tell him he can come to Download as a guest, as my guest. but he has to go and see West Ham play first. So I had to take him to West Ham, watch a game, and take a photo of Dave with the pitch behind him to prove that he had been to see West Ham. That's how passionate we are.
Oh, man.
So he would not let Dave go to download unless he see West Ham play first.
Man.
Which I don't blame him.
Yeah, eles são muito viciados em futebol, mas eles são muito, assim, tipo, eles são muito torcedores do West Ham, mas assim, de um jeito que e isso parece muito com a paixão que o brasileiro tem pelo futebol, né? E tanto o Dennis quanto o Steve Harris são West Ham, tipo tem até o sinal aqui do West Ham mesmo. E o Dave Murray não é muito assim do futebol, né? E aí teve uma situação do Download Festival. I didn't get it about the download.
Download is Donington.
Donington.
But it's now called Download.
Okay.
Download Festival in the UK.
Yeah.
Maiden headlined it quite a few years.
Yeah. Download Festival. Right.
Download.
Yeah. But Dave Murray, he's not into football at all.
In the early days, he never used to be that bothered about football. You know, it was mostly me and Steve that were at West Ham.
There's another people here in Brazil. Every time that Iron Maiden come here, they join people, press people, rock press people, to a football game. Football
every
show.
time, everywhere.
Everywhere?
In Europe, everywhere they go. Friends of mine play against Maiden, Iron Maiden 11. And they wherever they go, they arrange a football match. It has to be done. And the crew and the band, some of the band play.
So the band must arrive one day, mostly even one day, to play with people, right?
Yeah, it's always everywhere they go through Europe. Wherever they go, they arrange a football match.
Eles têm que ter todo lugar que eles vão. Tem que ter um dia antes para eles bater uma bola. Já bateu uma bola. Do you plan to play some soccer here, football here?
When?
In your tour?
No.
You don't play at all?
No.
Nowadays.
No, not with my legs and back now.
Porque eu esqueci de traduzir isso. Ele foi na infância dele, para adolescência, ele fez um teste para o time do West Ham. Para jogar, mas infelizmente na peneira ele não passou, mas ele quase foi, né, também um jogador de futebol, cara. Isso é muito incrível. Agora a gente vai tocar uma música do Uriah Heep. O Dennis falou para mim que é muito fã de Uriah Heep. You are really a great fan of Uriah Heep, right?
Yeah, I remember in the early days, you know, like before Maiden, I was always going to see Wishbone Ash because I like the harmony guitars. But you had your front runners, which was Led Zeppelin and your Deep Purple, Black Sabbath. They were already established as the heavy metal gods in the UK. And Uriah Heep was always there. I thought the vocals and the stuff with Uriah Heep was great. Always loved the falsetto harmonies and the arrangements. Unfortunately, they always seem to simmer below the big guys. Bit like now, a bit like Saxon and Maiden. They just Saxon, a great band, fantastic band, good friends of mine. But you know, we grew up together. We toured with them in the 80s with Lionheart. But they've always just simmered below the big arenas. You know? And I think Uriah Heep have always done that.
It's a great vocal school, right?
Oh, well, yeah. And now I know the band anyway, Mick and Bernie and you know, the way they're still touring, they're just great. And
it's the only one of the only bands that's still touring. From bands that started in 70s, right?
Exactly.
They still there. Eu falei do Uriah Heep porque ele também é um grande fã das harmonias vocais.
And now Mick's had to dye his hair white, you know. Because he doesn't want to keep looking so young, so he's had to dye it white. To go
and it's a very beautiful hair, white, beautiful hair. Não tem o cabelão, o Mickey Box ainda tem aquele cabelão branco, assim, que não foi, assim, uma banda que fez tanto sucesso, né, quanto o Led Zeppelin, Deep Purple, né, e o Black Sabbath, sempre ficou um passinho para baixo, assim como a comparação que o Dennis fez do Iron Maiden com o Saxon, que é um pouquinho mais abaixo, mas que são grandes bandas, e essa escola vocal que é o Rare Hip, que é uma banda que tanto eu quanto o Dennis é grande fã, vamos de Easy Living. And we continuing our live broadcasting on YouTube. Let me see if we got some questions from YouTube to you, Dennis. Let's see. Bom trabalho. Alguém tem que produzir. A lot of people asking for more shows here in Brazil. Um monte de gente pedindo para mais shows. Next tour, right? I believe that will be the first of many, many others, man.
Well, listen, without getting too deep into the thing with this COVID thing, it's taken ages to people to try and get back to normal, and it has gone crazy. And it's especially it's a double whammy, I call it, because people were trying to get back to work and back on their feet through COVID, and then all of a sudden you get hit by this economic crisis, like whether it's here or not, but in the UK, everything's gone crazy. Energy prices,
worldwide,
the food, everything is now becoming so expensive to buy, and our kids can afford to buy tickets for concerts. It's just a killer. So we would have loved to have done extra shows. Now we would have loved to, but you got to rely on ticket sales.
Yeah.
It's not cheap to do a tour like this with flying over here and the hotels and So it's hard to predict if you're going to do 20 shows. Are you going to get the attendance to cover them 20 shows and the transport, and the hotels?
But in your case, I believe yes.
Well,
I believe.
But first time here, as I said in many interviews, in Europe, I'm welcomed by the Iron Maiden family all over Europe, Scandinavia, everywhere we go. They welcome me like still a member of the band.
Yeah.
But in Brazil, I have to work to be accepted with the Maiden family because they've never seen me play.
No, man.
Seen it. So I have to try and convince.
But they are convinced.
Intervalo.
We pray.
O quê?
Intervalo.
Intervalo?
É.
Já?
Já.
Tá passando muito rápido.
Muito.
Ó. A gente continua aqui na nossa live, youtube.com/Rádio Kiss FM oficial. A gente está trocando uma ideia séria aqui com o Dennis Stratton. A gente vai para o intervalo aqui no rádio, mas a gente continua no YouTube. Já voltamos. O Dennis a gente estava falando sobre a turnê, né? Um monte de gente aqui no YouTube falando, pô, vem pra minha cidade, não sei o quê, vem pra não sei o quê. E aí, ele falou, cara, essa é a primeira. Eu falei, pô, que seja a primeira de muitas, né? E ele falou, cara, a gente gostaria muito, mas a gente tá vindo dessa primeira vez com um pouco mais de cuidado, porque muito humilde, né? Ele falou, cara, a família Iron Maiden ainda tem que me conhecer, pelo amor de Deus. Everybody knows you here, man. People in Brazil are very Iron Maiden maniacs, and they study the story of Iron Maiden from the ground zero. And
yeah, I get that, but also you got to remember my first time here, and you've already had Blaze, you've already had Paul, and you've got to prove a point, and that's what we did yesterday. Going through that set, that convinced me that we're here to prove a point. And we take no prisoners. So the idea is that we go out there and we get on fire. And that's what we're going to try and do. Aim to do. But I'm still, people may still be thinking, well, let's see. He's got to convince me. That they're up for it. So come to the show and get convinced. Because the only way we can do it is within the music.
Yeah, for sure. And even with this band that you will play, man, That will be great shows. Eu estava falando aqui com ele a respeito disso, e ele tornou a falar que é uma coisa que tem que ir com cuidado, é a primeira vez, né? Então, mas eu, sei lá, eu posso, não digo cravar, dar uma de Nostradamus, assim, mas eu acredito que se ele curtir, vai ter muito mais oportunidades de voltar, e daqui a pouco eu, ao vivo, vou fazer o que eu costumo fazer de melhor, que é dar uma de entrão e me convidar para cantar na próxima turnê.
Legal. E aí, sim, estão perguntando aqui no YouTube também, o que ele acha se ele acompanha nas novas bandas de heavy metal.
Tá. There's a guy here from YouTube. He asked if you still taking a look of the new heavy metal bands nowadays, if there are any new band that you used to hear about this movement.
Well, in the UK, we're pretty limited to rock stations, and don't go and buy loads of CDs, and I don't have the internet at home, so I don't use downloads or streaming.
Oh, really?
No, I don't have it.
Old school.
Yeah, I have my telephone.
Yeah.
But I do some work with other bands as session stuff, and some work on their albums or some guitar stuff. And I was guesting with a band at the O2 in Islington in London. We were headlining the Friday night, and there was bands on before us on that night. It was advertised as a new wave of British traditional, whatever.
The new wave. New wave.
You've got it, yeah. And I thought, because listening to Planet Rock, which is the only rock station in the UK, we get on that radio station. It gives us a lot.
I'm sorry, we'll come together. Pô, pessoal, voltamos no intervalo, a gente estava conversando aqui, I'm sorry about it.
That's all right.
Que a gente estava trocando ideia a respeito de novas bandas.
Uma pergunta que veio aqui do YouTube.
Do YouTube, o seu YouTube, obrigado pela pergunta, viu? Ele perguntou se o Dennis, ele curte novas bandas, se ele está ouvindo algum movimento de bandas novas.
Sim.
E o Dennis me falou uma coisa que eu achei muito maneira, cara. Lá na Inglaterra não tem muitas, I'm translating your answer, right? Lá não tem muitas estações de rádio, assim como aqui. Né? Mas o que me deixou mais impressionado é que ele falou: e lá em casa a gente não tem internet, então old school mesmo, no internet in your house.
No.
Yeah, old school.
Yeah.
That's it. So you are not a victim of social media.
Only on my
stuff.
phone. I do it for work.
Yeah,
and, to keep in contact with people.
Yeah, because it's very toxic, man.
Yeah.
E aí ele tava falando que não tem internet na casa dele, então ele não ouve muitas coisas por causa da dificuldade, né, de ouvir coisas não. Mas quando eles estão fazendo shows, eles veem bastante bandas que é a nova onda do metal britânico, né? Isso é muito legal, porque o heavy metal é um estilo. Heavy metal is a style that I believe will never die, right?
No.
Nunca vai morrer.
No, not at all. The fan base is too big, but I think a lot of the time you got to give credit to a lot of the tribute bands, because without them, the bands don't tour that often. Maiden, with an exception, over the last 5 years is unbelievable. It's fantastic, but a lot of the bands don't tour, so it's nice to go and see the music you love played by people that can play them albums and play them songs at a professional level. But as I said, with Planet Rock, you can hear new bands coming through, from all over, from America, from Europe, from anywhere. There's a lot of bands coming through. But I was at a show where I was playing as a guest, and there were these new wave of bands, and they were coming on stage at sort of 5 o'clock in the afternoon, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, and I thought, well, I'll have a listen. And I got to tell you, the introduction music and the fireworks and the smoke and the strobe lights and the explosions were absolutely fantastic. But when the band started, it was a complete letdown. So there was a couple of bands there where there were 2 girl singers, and I thought, this is heavy rock, heavy metal, new wave. You couldn't hear what they were singing because the voices were so weak. And I'm thinking, if this is what's coming out now, it could be in trouble. But there are a lot of other bands coming that are, I don't class it as heavy metal. I never did years ago, because UFO, Uriah Heep, they were never heavy metal. They're heavy rock. And that sort of feel.
Mm-hmm.
And so, yeah, you know, everyone's getting a new lease of life at the moment. Judas Priest, you know, with Richie Faulkner and things like that. Everything's going round a full circle.
Mm-hmm.
But I've not heard many bands coming out of the new
Mm-hmm.
wave, traditional, whatever it's called,
Mm-hmm.
that's going to blow your mind. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's still going to be your Maidens and your bands that are out there.
And the tribute bands, I kind of feel that space, right?
You know, like the bands like Dead Daisies and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
They're not heavy metal.
Mm-hmm.
They're heavy rock.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I love the musicianship with Doug and that. You know, I love good friend of mine, Doug. But they're writing better songs. They're not so heavy like Priest was years ago.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and Black Sabbath was years ago when it was like really morbid.
Mm-hmm.
There are interesting songs now being written.
All right.
And I think, but it will be the fans that keep
it going.
The metal going.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Como assim, o Dennis, ele vê mais os shows, né? Como ele não tem internet, não tem serviço de streaming, ele não pesquisa tanto assim. Mas ele vê bandas assim que tem uma puta luz, uma puta estrondo, arrebentando assim. Aí quando entra o vocal, entra a banda tipo meio pau mole, assim. Eu não sei, ele não falou isso, tá? Mas mesmo nesses
livre.
Ele não vê assim com tanto apego, assim, tipo, vai vir uma banda que vai arrebentar, assim.
Sim.
Mas tem muitas bandas boas no heavy rock, assim, tipo Dead Daisies, ele citou o Dead Daisies aqui, e ele também cita as bandas tributo, que não é o Iron Maiden é uma das únicas bandas que fica excursionando pelo mundo direto, mas as grandes bandas do passado não fazem shows, ou já acabaram, não fazem tantos shows como antigamente, né? E aí os serviços de bandas tributo acabam, assim, cobrindo esse espaço, né? Em termos de heavy metal clássico, né? A gente já tá chegando, cara, eu não acredito, cara. Já tá acabando. We're getting to the end of the show, man. 1 hour passed too fast, man. And I sing Iron Maiden as well, right? And I have a Iron Maiden tribute band, and I travel all over the country with Bruno Sutter sings Iron Maiden. And when you come on next tour, I would love to sing with you.
Fantastic. That would be great. You better ask our singer though. He might not like it.
I'll talk to Leandro. Leandro, vai dar ruim pra tu, hein, cara. Não, vamos dividir os vocal na próxima aí. Eu simplesmente, na minha cara de pau, falei que eu também canto Iron Maiden e que na próxima turnê eu me convidei para cantar.
So
aí,
you sing one song when we come back to São Paulo.
Oh man, don't tell me this, man. Anyone. Is it an invite?
We can invite you.
Oh man. Assim que a gente. That's the way we can get things in life. When you see the train, go and catch it. Don't look at the train pass. Yeah. Take it. Yeah. Thank you so very much. I'll try my best to be there.
The good thing is if we don't like it, we can just switch the mic off.
Yeah. So probably you do this. Ele falou que me convidou para vir no show e que se não gostar da minha voz é só desligar o microfone. Aí é só desligar o microfone que tá bom. I will pass again the tour dates. That's the main reason you're here, right?
Let's hope that they come and see us play.
Yeah. Tá. Que venham todos aqui. Vamos falar novamente as datas do Dennis Stratton no Brasil. Sexta-feira agora, ele vai estar em Florianópolis, no John Bull. No sábado, em Curitiba, no Hard Rock Café. Dia 3, domingo, em São Paulo, no Teatro Mars, que eu vou lá. Dia 5, I'll be there. Dia 5, em Goiânia, no Bolshoi. Dia 6 em Brasília, no Toinha. Dia 7 em Belo Horizonte, no Mr. Rock. Dia 10 do 12 no Rio de Janeiro, no Rock Experience. E no dia 13 do 12, Ribeirão Preto, no Hard Rock Café, lá de Ribeirão. Dennis Stratton, a great pleasure of life have you here. Well, thank you so very much once again.
The pleasure's mine because it's now, as I said, it's a dream come true for me.
Oh, man.
Wow. Over here and finally make it over here to Brazil. So I just say everyone come give you tickets and come and see the show, and you know, welcome me like the rest of the Iron Maiden family, you know, which I get everywhere I go. It's such a great family to be part of. So come and see the show.
Ok. O Dennis agradeceu, eu falei que era uma grande honra. Ele falou: a honra é minha. Cara, que exemplo, né, cara? Que exemplo de vida. E ele falou: venham aos shows, comprem os ingressos, porque vocês realmente vão gostar. E vão mesmo, cara, porque essa banda que vai estar fazendo a turnê com o Dennis é incrível e sensacional. Tá todo mundo convidado. Domingo eu vou lá, viu? Vou lá dar uma canja, viu? Vani.
Vamos tocar um Running?
Dá tempo?
Vamos.
Então a gente toca Running Free e já se despede. Um beijo, gente. See ya. Thank you.
Thank you.
Pronto.